And that's a 15-year felony. So if you are found guilty by a jury, you can go to prison for up to 15 years. So Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name. Of course.
None of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom. I have jurisdiction over you. Still a crime. Still a crime.
But I'm not
still a crime.
Corporation. I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why you're standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be.
We got a wild court hearing today featuring, you guessed it, a sovereign citizen. This guy's in court for embezzling over $60,000. Of course, he tries pulling the classic sovereign citizen routine. But the judge, she's absolutely not having it. Her no-nonsense attitude and sharp would make this one hilarious to watch. Let me know what you think of how she handled it. Was she spot on or too harsh? And if you're into courtroom showdowns like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's jump right in.
Mr. Dagger Margosian, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, Your Honor, I am aware that Mr. Musgrove wants to present information to the court. I'm happy to be standby counsel if he wants to represent himself. Obviously, this court would have to go through the colloquy of that, but obviously it's Mr. Musgrove's legal right to at least ask the court to do that. So I'm here to observe at this point.
All right. So, Mr. Musgrove, when you were at the bench or up at the podium before, you said that you were appearing on behalf of yourself. So, Mr. Musgrove, are you asking to no longer have counsel represent you?
Well, what I'm understanding is that the courts is a private for-profit.
So, Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name. Of course.
None of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom. I have jurisdiction over you. So
I tried to file paperwork with the clerk's office ahead of time so that you would have time to review it, and they denied me.
I know what you're talking about. None of that is valid under the law of the state of Michigan or the country.
Why do sovereign citizens always cling to that weird all caps argument? It seriously makes no sense. Like, what exactly does a name being in all caps prove? If anything, it just makes them look like they Googled sovereign citizen loopholes for 10 minutes and ran with the first thing they found. Honestly, if they're going to claim the court has no jurisdiction, I almost wish they'd just skip the hearing altogether. At least then the court could focus on real cases instead of wasting time on this nonsense. What do you think? Does the all caps excuse confuse you as much as it does me? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And now, let's get back to it.
It is.
No.
The Supreme Court says it is.
What does it say it is?
The Supreme Court says that if we were at the age of 18, we were supposed to claim our minor status.
Nope, not valid.
Okay.
So here's what I would say to you. Mr. Dagger Margosian is, like most of our public defenders, exceptional attorneys and very well versed in the law and very experienced. He gives legal advice. You may not like the legal advice, but it's usually good advice. I've never had anyone from the public defender's office not wholeheartedly try to represent their clients. So what you are talking about is not valid, and it is not going to get you out of this case. You're not going to be able to say all those things because it's not valid.
Everyone involved in this court case has a financial interest in the case.
I don't have a financial interest in your case. I get paid by the state of Michigan, whether you plead, whether it gets dismissed. I don't make any money off you. We have budgets. The court system is not a profit generating revenue. We are here to represent people so that people who are charged with crimes are protected. People who are victims of crimes are protected. And that's why we have all these.
In order for there to be a crime, there has to be a victim. There is no.
Well, there is a victim in this case.
The victim would be the company.
You are charged.
I can't face
actually. Just hold on. So your crime that you are charged with, which you are innocent as of this time, let me grab the right file, is failure. Oh, this is let me see. This is an embezzlement charge. So you are charged in count one with embezzlement 50,000 or more, but less than 100,000. That being an agent, servant, or employee of Hardwoods of Michigan Industries did convert to your own use without the consent of your employer or principal, industrial tools and equipment in the amount of $68,938.40 or money or equipment. And that's a 15-year felony. So if you are found guilty by a jury, you can go to prison.
Don't most sovereign citizens try to push for a jury trial? If that's the case here, this guy is totally screwed. Every time I see one of them demand a jury trial, it's like watching a slow-motion train wreck. It never ends well. They're always so wrapped up in their bizarre beliefs that they come off completely unhinged. And of course, the jury just ends up thinking they're nuts. Which, let's be honest, they kind of are. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy gets hit with the full 15 years. It's only a matter of time before the judge runs out of patience and the jury follows suit. What do you think? Is there any chance this guy makes it through his jury trial without crashing and burning? Or is this just another courtroom disaster in the making? Let's get back to this mess.
Count two, with using a computer to commit a crime to facilitate the charge in count one, that carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison. And the way the statute's set up, I can actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison. So the victim that's alleged in this would be that business.
Right, and I can't face that accuser because that business can't get on the stand for me to ask questions, and a third party.
But their
can't stand
representative
it.
can. Yes, they can. Yes,
They
they
can?
can. Yes, they
Okay.
can. So I have 189,000 of student loan debt that was forgiven to be a lawyer. You do not. And Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Isaac Sneed, all of the attorneys here went to law school to know the law, and their job is to advise you of the law. So
Yeah,
yes, they
they're-
can. Yes,
They're
you
going
can be
by
charged.
everything, all the
can't-
laws and statutes that you guys go by
Are
for
legal.
corporations. They're for fixed.
Still a crime. Still a crime.
But I'm not
Still a
a fictitious
crime.
corporation, I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why you're standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be dismissed.
Yeah, the all caps name is that.
That means nothing. That's not valid.
Okay.
It's not legal.
right.
So do you want to represent yourself, or do you want to have an attorney to represent you?
I need some time to think.
Okay, so I'm going to set this for another pretrial on March 20th at 8:30 in the morning. And
This guy seriously needs to lay off the crayon diet before his next hearing, because if he keeps this up, he's probably looking at a minimum of 10 years. Judges do not like sovereign citizens, and after watching this whole circus, it's easy to see why. Every word out of his mouth just digs the hole deeper. Be honest. How many brain cells did you lose during this video? Because I'm feeling a little lightheaded from all the nonsense. At this point, I wouldn't be shocked if the judge gave him a permanent seat in the courtroom just for the chaos he's causing. But seriously, what did you think of this hearing? Was this guy as ridiculous as he seemed to me, or am I missing something? He wasn't the wildest sovereign citizen I've seen, but he definitely wasn't easy to deal with either. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more courtroom content. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.